Hi guys, it's Sarah from Tough Girl Challenges. I am racing in the toughest foot race on earth this week. It's called the Marathon des Sables, 6 marathons in 6 days across the Sahara Desert. Yes, I know I'm slightly crazy, but it is going to be a fantastic challenge, which I'm really excited about. Slightly nervous, but excited at the same time. So in this short video, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my backpack and why I chose it and what the benefits are and also what the cons are. So I did a lot of research before I picked my backpack, and basically every book I read, every blog I read talked about the Raidlight backpack and said it was basically the best structurally, how it was engineered, how it was designed, the support it gave you, the padding, it was all basically tick, tick, tick. So I was like, done, not even going to try it on, went online, ordered my backpack, got it sent through to me, and it came in the post. So quite a standard backpack, and if I start in here, what we've got is loads of really, really good padding all the way up the shoulders and all the way down the straps. So this is maybe about 1/2 inch thick. The only place it doesn't really have it is right down the centre, so that bit goes straight down your back, sort of right where your spine is. So when you do pack your backpack, you have to be careful that you don't load anything sort of sharp or that's going to put sort of undue pressure on your back, because that will come through. So I always try and make sure that I have some sort of padding on the back of it to give it extra support. Now, if we go to the front of the backpack, what we've got here is we've got 2 water bottle holders. So the water bottle holders are 750 mils. They've got like a little bit of extra thing, so when you're running along, you don't actually need to stop. You can just reach down and drink it. Now, in the front, there's a little pocket here. Not really sure what that's good for. When you've got the water bottle in there, you can't really fit that much in. Above it, you've got another pocket here, which is great. It's the perfect size for your iPhone. So I always listen to music from my iPhone in this pocket. Again, there's a little pouch here, lip balm, iPod Nano, something small and little can fit on there. So you've got the exact same on the opposite side. So on the side of the backpack, you've actually got these sort of 2 square pockets. They're actually really pretty spacious. They can actually sort of cram quite a lot in there. So those are actually really, really useful just to put like your snacks in when you're running, because you can reach down on the side to grab them. So you've got those on both sides. Again, yeah, really, really great. Now, if we go to the back, we've got, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this is the Raidlight 20 litre backpack. At the very, very top, we've got this sort of little pouch, which is actually quite spacious, which is attached to a little pocket area. And what we've got coming up here is an area to show you where you can put water. So this actually fits like a 1.5 litre bottle really, really well. So that fits in the back of your backpack, which is great. Down by the side, we've got 2 more pouches, which both fit. You can actually fit water bottles in here as well. So you can actually, I have actually done it before when I've had 1 water bottle in one pouch, water bottle in the centre, and a water bottle over on this side. So you can actually do that. There are these sort of strappy things down by the side. I haven't used them yet, but they are there. I'm thinking I may remove them before the actual race just to cut down on weight. Now, if we go inside the backpack, so this is actually a double zip. So if we come down, it sort of opens up quite flat, which will make packing everything else a lot easier. So in the back, we've got 2 little straps here. Again, not sure why these are here. Maybe it's to attach like your sleeping bag or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Then got more netting, more space, and then a slight pouch on here, which you can just unzip and store things in. So a couple of things with this backpack. So everybody who reviewed this backpack, which I read about, had obviously trained with it in the UK. So they trained for it during the cold months. And I haven't actually read any reviews of people who trained for it in the heat. Now, I went over to Melbourne and I was training in 36, 42 degrees during the summer months, basically, because I was there from the end of December until March. I trained with this backpack for, say, 2 months. And I just want to highlight a couple of the issues that I had is the seams basically started disintegrating. So I don't know if you can see this. All of this came apart. And I think that's to do with the heat and the sweat. And, you know, when you've got suntan lotion on and everything else, and it's just sort of rubbing, and it's just that hot environment, it just sort of weakens the fabric. So I did speak to Raidlight about it. I was like, guys, bought my bag. It's now started to disintegrate, not only here, but in the bottom of these pouches. I don't know if you can see, there's actually like a massive holes here because I was training with a weighted backpack. So that basically shredded through completely, which is obviously not great. It's still usable, but I spoke to them about it. I was like, what can you do? How can you help me? And they said, oh, if it's in a year, if you bought it within a year, it'll still be within the warranty. So I was like, I actually got this backpack back in Christmas 2014 because I was planning to do the race in 2015. So the bag was no longer in warranty, and I was like, is there any way that you can fix it? Suddenly, days go past, and I've been back and forth on Twitter, and I'm not really getting any response. And suddenly it's like 20 days to go, 15 days to go, 5 days to go, heard nothing. So I will basically be getting my sewing kit out and fixing it up. But it's still completely usable. I actually do really like this backpack. It is a great backpack. Now it does actually come, I'll just put it on. So when you're actually wearing it, the first time I wore this, it was the strangest sensation. I didn't actually have it as tight as I wear it now. But when you first get it, when you're running, the bottle's sort of bouncing up and down and it just feels really, really uncomfortable. But if you wear it enough times, you've got a strap which goes just sort of around the boobs, and then you've got a waist strap as well, which you can wear under here. It actually gets really comfortable, and you just get really used to wearing it, especially if you're going out for 6 or 7 hours. So you've got your water bottles here, and you can face them to you. As I say here, this little pocket, it's almost too tight to fit that much stuff in, but you might be able to fit like a gel or something in there. So with the straps, it's all about finding what makes it comfortable for you. I actually wear them on the tightest setting possible, but I've still got all of these sort of long, loose bits, which again, I'll probably chop off just before the race when I know that I don't need to do anything else. Now, it does come with a waist extension as well, so I actually don't have the waist bit on at the moment, so that's just what goes around my waist. But if you are, say, a larger person and need a little bit extra, then you can attach this in here, and then, hold on, or attach it, where am I attaching? Oh, okay. So attach it in here. This then can come across, and you can then zip it up. Now again, this is actually quite loose on me when I do that. And I don't know if you can see here, there's this grey sort of flat bit. There used to actually be two of these on the straps. So I ended up chopping off the grey one there just because it just wasn't allowing me to fasten it once it got there. I'll probably remove that as well. Now thank goodness I didn't actually get rid of this, because what I found is when you fill your backpack at the back quite a lot, it obviously pulls back the waist bit, so suddenly you actually need more, you need to use the waist extension basically until your backpack gets smaller and there's less stuff in the back. So that's really, really good. Now with the backpack, when it's weighted, there's a huge amount of pressure on your shoulders, like here and like sort of on your collarbones, and this doesn't really have a huge amount of padding. It's sort of maybe like 2 or 3 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I've actually got some shoulder pads. So I've actually got 2 shoulder pads which are just on top of each other, and I'm going to put these underneath and I'm going to sew these onto the actual backpack just to give me that extra support for my shoulders and just sort of to help to reduce the pressure. When I was training, I tried different things like loosening the straps or running, like holding my backpack up to relieve some of the weight on my shoulders, but that's actually not sustainable. So you need to think of some way that you can add something else here just to take the pressure off your shoulders. So I've decided on shoulder pads, which will just be sewn on, and that'll be absolutely fine. Now the other thing that the bag comes with is this Raidlight, Raidlight bag, which you attach on the back. Now, unfortunately, this is pretty useless, or I found it to be very useless. So, on the backpack, at the very bottom, as you can see here, there's actually a side zip, just one side zip, and there's a space, it's about the size of my hand, that's how much space you've got. But what comes out of that is another strap, which is where you attach this part of it, and that then links up to the shoulder strap here. So it's another way to carry, I thought, a water bottle, which I thought that would be absolutely awesome. Problem is, water bottles of 1.5 litres don't actually fit in. It's just not wide enough, even to try and get it through. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this yet, because I've been told the water bottles are 1.5 litres, but they may be smaller or they may be larger. So I'm not sure, and I'll have to wait and see until I get out there. But I may be able to use it for something else. You know, I don't know what I'll be able to shove in there, but it could end up being quite useful. If not, I'll just bin it and get rid of it. The other bit of feedback that I'd say is what happened once for me when I was running is I'd actually zipped my backpack. So this backpack has got 2 zips coming up here. So I zipped it up to the top and didn't think anything of it. Had my water, full water, loaded it in the back. I was wearing it. And as I was running along, suddenly my water fell out and I was like, oh, what had happened? So what can happen is when you're running like this, the zips can end up getting a little bit loose. And when they do that, they basically end up falling down and the backpack just goes like that and falls open. So just something to be wary of. When you zip your backpack up, zip it all the way down to one side. So that's not going to happen to you. But all in all, I absolutely love my backpack. It is amazing. I am quite worried about how I'm going to fit all my equipment into this, but I know other people have done it. So I'm just going to have to give it a go and see what fits. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about how I'm going to pack it when I get to that stage. But otherwise, Raidlight backpack, pretty good, even with the holes that I'm going to have to sew up. But this is what I'll be wearing when I do the MDS.